Greetings, Earthlings. This is Dave coming to you live with another episode of And Another Thing with Dave. I need to expand my screen. I can't see what I'm doing. All right. Thank you, people. So, what I want to talk to you about tonight is why people make certain choices and who in the hell would join the police department or volunteer to join the military in this day and age when we see what's going on. I mean, you got nothing but police brutality cases left and right, all these people getting shot, all these unarmed, especially black people, brown people, getting shot by the police. It's a frightful state of affairs. And I don't know, what spurred this on was, anyway, it doesn't even matter, but who in the hell in their right mind would volunteer to join the police in this day and age? So you got to be some kind of power-tripping fuck or have absolutely nothing else going for you in life, right? I mean, I know a guy that's a cop. You know, this guy Jason I went to school with. He was a pencil neck geek all through junior high and high school, whip smart, you know, but he was a punk, and he used to get his ass kicked left and right. He'd get me kicked out of just about every party I ever invited him to, and which were a lot. And what happened? The guy got big into lifting weights, started taking steroids, and became a freaking cop. So, you know, one of the worst people, one of the last people you want being in a position of authority. And there it is. So these are the people that magnate towards a position of authority like that, where they can keep other people under their thumb and abuse them as they see fit. I mean, apparently he did have a run-in for being a little hard-handed too, and got disciplinary measures for that. So, not surprising. You know, and that leads me to who in the hell in this day and age would join the military, volunteer to join the military. The last quote-unquote good war was World War II. And if you watch Oliver Stone's The Untold History of the United States, then you'll see that this was far, far from a just war. The Japanese were 2 weeks away from surrendering. 80% of Japan had been burned to the ground by conventional weapons. They called Tokyo the Paper City, and it completely burned to the ground. Yet we dropped not one nuclear bomb on them, but two. Why? To intimidate the piss out of Russia, which worked. But how gangster is that? Dropping a bomb on somebody that's on their knees already, just to show how ruthless you are to your real enemy. Wow. So, are we the knight in shining armor on the white horse? I don't know. Not thinking so, people. Open your eyes, do a little bit of research. There's an awesome documentary called Tales of an Economic Hitman. And this gentleman, John Perkins, I believe his name is, traveled all over the world. And what he would do is he would go in and make governments an offer they couldn't refuse to succumb to our corporate needs. And if they wouldn't agree to his terms, then they would send in the quote-unquote jackals. These people would start bombing the water purification plants, the sewage treatment plants, water pipes, basically, you know, electrical power grid, basically taking out the infrastructure of countries, bringing them to their knees, making the people rise up and revolt. And then if that didn't work, he said, we would then send in the military. So that's what happened in Iraq, is they would not cave. The jackal action didn't work, and we had no ability of assassinating Hussein, although we did try. So it went to full-on war. And he said he had done this in country after country after country after country. And apparently his conscience got to him, and he wrote a book and made a movie about it, and is on a speaking tour. Highly recommend that. There it is, Confessions of an Economic Hitman. That's the title. And then another title that we need to watch here, people, is No End in Sight, about how we set Iraq up to fail completely, to bring on chaos, to then justify building the biggest military base in the world in the green zone which exists, and will never be left unoccupied. Rest assured, it will never be empty. So there it is, people. There it is. This has been Dave with another episode of And Another Thing with Dave. One more thing I wanted to throw out there. I'm sorry, would we not be better off having a mandatory 2-year military service as opposed to having a voluntary military? The voluntary military, you get these power-hungry mad dogs of war, and then you're going to keep hearing these stories of atrocious rape and dismemberment and killing, raping a 14-year-old girl in Fallujah in front of her entire family, and then killing each family member off one by one, and then finally killing the girl herself, 5 family members, after they were forced to watch their daughter gang raped by U.S. Marines. How many more stories like this do we want to hear? Maybe if we made mandatory 2-year military service a function of our government, then at least it would dilute the pool of people who are in the military. And I don't know, the group consciousness might come up a little bit. Who knows? Pontificating, anyway. That's a tough one. This has been Dave with And Another Thing with Dave. Thanks for listening. And if you're liking what I'm doing here, please do subscribe and share. Thank you very much. Peace out.